No matter what age your child is, you want the best for their future. What do they want to do after graduation? What career path do they want to take? These questions can be overwhelming. That's why you should ask them this question. What's your E? Seminole County Public Schools ePathway program is designed for your student to choose their own path in life from as many options as we can offer. Whether they're looking to enlist, enroll, or be employed, we're excited to help you and your child make it happen. Want them to enroll in a college or university? We'll help you find the best school for them to continue their education. Learn about grants and programs to help your child obtain their degree at a pace and a cost that works for you both. Are they looking to go straight into employment? Discover a variety of trades and skills that will propel their future. They can learn aviation maintenance, automotive repair, culinary arts, and more to hone their talents in growing industries. Is your child interested in enlistment? We'll help them find the right path of service, whether it's military, law enforcement, fire response, or EMS. They can serve the community while learning skills that will last a lifetime. What's your E? Explore options with ePathways by visiting us online at the link below.
Mr. Cortez, he's a bright young man. When I first met him, he was kind of timid, but I've grown to learn more about him, the struggles that he's been through, the transformation that he's been through in the last 5 months is incredible. I'm actually really proud of him and what he's gone through and how he's changing through my program.
I joined JROTC by accident. My guidance counselor suggested it. I didn't want to do it at all, but had to do it. I planned on just joining a semester, and I ended up loving the course, the instructors, every one of my friends that I've made here in JROTC, and my whole high school life is just surrounded basically on JROTC.
Cadet Cortez, like I said earlier, he's a lot like some of the students who come in here. He does have a lot of natural leadership ability. I think ROTC gave him an opportunity to use that in a course, in a class with students of his peers. And because of that, he's had a very good rapport with other students, extremely beneficial. It's a great leadership opportunity for him. It's also a great leadership opportunity for people around him to see how he acts, how he takes care of himself and other people. And the leadership that he does, he gets into a common ground with these students and explains how things should be done. They look at him, they don't look at him as he's any different, they just look like he's doing it better. So he's leading by example, which is a perfect example of what we want for students here in ROTC.
Well, before JROTC, I was kind of bad kid, rebellious, didn't listen to my parents, I didn't want to really be in school. Joining to ROTC, the instructors taught me discipline, they taught me how to be a better version of myself, and throughout the years I did become a better version of myself, became more respectful towards elders or peers around me. I became more aware of other people's feelings, as well as how to deal with certain emotions of mine and how to lead overall.
And he started to excel, and he started hanging around with the right group of people who helped him excel. And in the end, he took his natural leadership ability, accentuated it, and became a leader inside the Air Force Junior ROTC program.
So I also wanted to join the Marine Corps because my dad is ill and he has many kids, and I know that it will be a struggle for him to pay for all that college tuition for us, and I just want to help him out. So I know that the military helps with schooling, and I just know that I want to make him proud. I want to make him proud that he has an excellent son and that I will succeed. So I think that joining the military and being able to succeed throughout not only military but university as well will be very excellent for myself and for my family.
by the time I get their attention. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Seminole County Public Schools Board meeting. I call to order the August 15th, 2023 school board meeting. This evening, Vice Chair Sanchez has the invocation and the pledge.
Good evening, everyone. This invocation is dedicated to our phenomenal teachers, faculty members, and our employees. Teachers, faculty, and all of our outstanding employees. As we come together to kick off another year of learning, we want to express our gratitude for your dedication and your hard work. To our students, of course, we want to commend you on your thirst for knowledge and determination to excel. To our teachers and staff, we appreciate your unwavering commitment to educate and to guide our students. We are excited to embark on this school year together. Remember, it takes a village. It will be filled with many opportunities to learn, discover, create lasting, wonderful memories. Welcome back to school, and here's to a fantastic year ahead. We see you, we appreciate you, we are here for you. Please be there for each other. Remember, take care of yourself first, your family, and always remember that we love you and appreciate everything that you do. Thank you. And with that, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may have a seat.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Please let the record reflect that Member Davis, Member Garrick, Member Penick, Vice Chair Sanchez, and myself are here, along with Attorney Greg Johnson, Clerk Jill Moramis, and our Superintendent, Sarita Beeman. Superintendent, do we have any acknowledgements? I guess just this one. Mary Pat Davis from the League of Women Voters. Welcome. Thank you for being here this evening. Are there any others? Okay, thank you. Superintendent, do you have any agenda modifications?
I have just one, Chair. I am pulling item 6D from the agenda. And also, as Clerk Moramis is reminding me, the addendum for a good cause is marked on the electronic agenda by a green flag named addendum item. So all of those additional items will be added.
Okay, thank you. The roll call for today will be Member Davis, Member Garrick, Vice Chair Sanchez, Member Penick, and then myself. School board members, are there any agenda modifications? Member Davis. Thank you. Member Garrick.
No modifications.
Thank you. Vice Chair Sanchez.
No modifications. Thank you.
Member Penick.
No, ma'am.
And I have none as well. Is there a motion to approve the agenda outline?
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nay. Motion passes. Superintendent, do we have any presentations or recognitions?
Yes, we do. We will start with our Veteran of the Month, who will be introduced by Ms. Reed from South Seminole Academy.
Thank you.
Ashton Wizuzali, a Winter Springs, Florida native,
was a member of the United States Air Force from August 2005 until January 2013. Within her nearly 8 years in the military, she served as a member of the medical logistics team at various military bases. During her first assignment at Whiteman Air Force Base, Missouri, she was responsible for the cargo movement and procurement of over $5.8 million of war reserve material used to support various overseas missions. Her leadership in both storage and distribution, as well as acquisitions, led her to receive an Airman of the Quarter. She expanded her responsibilities at her second assignment, Buckley Air Force Base, Colorado, to include becoming the non-commissioned officer in charge of acquisitions, as well as working closely with contract services. Upon her departure of the Air Force, she completed her Bachelor of Social Science degree at the University of Central Florida. For the past 5 years, she's had the pleasure of working at South Seminole Academy, teaching world history, civics, and we the people. Her ambition has led her to becoming social studies curriculum leader in her short time of education. Her loving and supportive husband of 16 years, Joseph, is also a veteran of the United States Air Force and social studies teacher alongside her. Him, along with their 4 children, Joshua, Natalie, Charlotte, and Madison, are her driving force to continue to succeed, and a reminder that no matter what, perseverance and hard work are always worth it. Congratulations, and thank you, Staff Sergeant Risuzali, for your service to our country.
All right, board members and Superintendent Beeman, we have exciting news to share for Goldsboro Elementary. So, this past May at Michigan State University, Goldsboro Elementary School's Odyssey of the Mind team, and they are called the Elementals, were crowned as this year's first place world champions for problem number 3 classics, The Walls of Troy. The Division I team competed in regionals last February, where they came in first place, then moved on to the state competition in April, where they placed second for the state of Florida, making them eligible for the world competition in Michigan. Goldsboro Elementary School won the championship title for their problem and division, earning a nearly perfect score of 348.1 out of 350 possible points. Congratulations to Goldsboro's Odyssey of the Mind team, the Elementals. Team members, please come up as you are called. Tia Gupta, Charishma Tumalapalli, Amanda Garcia, Pranaya Pasupaletti, Bhuvi Yoshi, Charvi Kondakagari, and Veda Kondakagari. They are also supported by their coaches, Victoria McFarland, Shannon Benningove, and proud principal, Dr. Chris Mulholland, and assistant principal, Kristen Fries. All right, board members and Superintendent Beeman, we are happy to announce Charlotte Little is the new principal at Lake Mary Elementary. Come on up, Miss Little. Mrs. Little received a bachelor's degree in exceptional student education from UCF in 1996, followed by a master's degree in ed leadership from UCF in 2018. So go Knights. She has worked for Seminole County Public Schools for 10 years at Altamont Elementary and prior to that in Orange County. She has served in many roles such as ESE teacher, second and third grade teacher, educational technology facilitator, school administration manager, and assistant principal. She is very excited to be a part of the Lake Mary Elementary family, serving as their principal. She is supported tonight by her husband, Al, son, Albert, and daughter, Avery. Congratulations to Charlotte Little.
Board members and Superintendent Beeman, it's my pleasure to also announce our other elementary new principal, Mrs. Elizabeth Darcy, new principal at Caroline Elementary School. Elizabeth earned her Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from the University of Central Florida and her Master's in Educational Leadership at Stetson University. She began her teaching career at Sanford Middle School and has taught English language arts, science, success maker, and pre-algebra. She has served as an assistant principal at Markham Woods Middle, Childs Middle, and Milby Middle School, and is now taking over at our Caroline Elementary School, where the Comets are orbiting to success. With her is the Seminole County Family Affair. Her husband, Joe Darcy, from Sanford Middle School, is here with her. And sending their support from far away are her also two Seminole County grown students, Joseph Darcy III and new Dr. Hannah Darcy. So congratulations. I'm also thrilled to tell you about our newest assistant principal at Highlands Elementary School, Mr. Robert Adamowicz, also with his Seminole County Family Affair here tonight. Mr. Adamowicz is a product of Seminole County Schools, attending Lake Mary Elementary, Millennium Middle, and Seminole High prior to graduating with his bachelor's in social science education and a master's in ed leadership from UCF. For the first 9 years of his career, he was a civics teacher and social studies department leader at South Seminole Academy and served for 2 years as the dean at Idlewild Elementary before joining the Highlands Huskies as their newest assistant principal. With Mr. Adamowicz tonight is his wife, Maritza Adamowicz, who is also a Seminole County teacher, his daughter, Luella, his father, Robert Sr., and his mother, Ellen, who are also welcome to come up. Congratulations to all our new administrators. Oh, and see, it's not in the script. Remember your principal in the script. And his proud principal, Mrs. Gonzalez.
Good evening, board members and Superintendent Beeman. It is with great excitement that I introduce the new assistant principal at Rock Lake Middle School, Mr. Bo Hogan. Mr. Hogan grew up in Seminole County, attending Rainbow Elementary, Indian Trails Middle School, and graduated from Oviedo High School. He then attended UCF and earned his degree and began teaching U.S. history in St. Augustine. He earned his educational leadership degree from the University of North Florida. After 5 years away from home, he returned to SCPS as a dean at Rock Lake Middle School, and he is excited to now serve Rock Lake as their new assistant principal. Joining him this evening is his wife, Mackenzie Hogan, and the principal of Rock Lake Middle School, Martin Dunlop. Next, we are proud to introduce Ms. Bailey Holmquist, Assistant Principal at Millennium Middle School. Ms. Holmquist began her teaching career in Duval County before moving to Seminole. She worked at Millennium Middle School as a teacher and instructional coach. She earned her bachelor's degree in family and child sciences and psychology and a master's degree in curriculum and instruction from the Florida State University. She is currently working on her doctorate in educational leadership at the University of Central Florida and anticipates graduating this year. Joining her this evening is her husband, Ryan Martin, and her principal, Crystal Higgs. All right, Ms. Higgs, you could go ahead and stay on up here. Next, we're introducing the new principal of Millennium Middle School, Crystal Higgs. Ms. Higgs is an 18-year educator who has served as a classroom teacher, international baccalaureate coordinator, instructional coach, curriculum resource teacher, and assistant principal at Evans High School, Union Park Middle School, Maitland Middle School, and Kelly Park School, respectively. She earned a bachelor's degree in English, creative writing from the University of Central Florida, a master's degree in urban studies education from Nova Southeastern University, an educational specialist degree in English education from Nova, and is currently earning an educational leadership currently an educational leadership doctoral candidate at American College of Education. Her family members in attendance this evening is her husband, Christopher Higgs, and her sons, Ethan, Evan, and Alex Higgs, and her mother, Carolyn Lee. All right, next we have Ms. Stephanie Lyons, Assistant Principal at Sanford Middle School. Ms. Lyons received both her master's and bachelor's degree from the University of Central Florida. She started her career by teaching kindergarten at Star Child Academy before teaching second grade at Seminole Science Charter School. She entered the realm of public school teaching at Eastbrook Elementary School, where she served as a fourth grade teacher and an ESC support facilitator. She transitioned to middle school in the role of dean at Tuscaloosa Middle School. Joining her this evening is her fiance, Riley O'Donnell, and the principal of Tuscaloosa Middle School, Principal Schuler, and Assistant Principal Yashika Mims.
Forgot about it.
It's in your comments.
Yeah. No worries. I'll give it just another minute till it's a little quieter. There we go. Superintendent Beeman?
Yes, board members, in lieu of our focus on student achievement today, since it is the first board meeting after the start of the school year, we'll have our annual kind of updates from each of the assistant superintendents at the different levels, and then, of course, from operations and e-pathways. And I'm forgetting one, but they will all come up.
Thank
We'll
you so
start
much,
with Dr. Gooch.
Superintendent.
Good evening, board members and Superintendent Beeman. I had the pleasure of visiting mostly the East Altamont schools with member Sanchez on the first day, and we had a phenomenal first day. It really felt like we had time warped back about 4 or 5 years, and everyone was sort of back just in regular school, ready for school. So many teachers remarking, this is the best first day I have had in so many years. Smooth arrival, boys and girls in lines with bubbles in their mouths, following routines right into the day. So we had a wonderful start at elementary. We're excited that we have 2 additional Title I schools at elementary school this year, so they'll be growing, and several of our dual language programs have added their next grade level, so lots of great things beginning in elementary.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, board members. Ms. Beeman. I started the school year off with Mrs. Pennick. We had some great visits to Wekiva, Bentley, Crystal Lake, Lake Mary, Midway. We noticed that students were back into the routine. Things were going as smoothly, just like Dr. Gooch had said, as if school had just continued from May. Mrs. Pennick and I also made a point to meet teachers new to SCPS, and one of them was relocation as far away as Washington State. I've since visited several other schools since that first day, and students are engaged in learning, and they have not missed a beat. I want to make mention of Bentley and Sterling Park, that they have added violin instruction to their music day. And an update on Kids Zone. So we have 3,869 students enrolled in the before and after school programs for Kids Zone. So Kids Zone is busy. All in all, great start to the school year.
Thank you. Awesome.
And I also visited elementary schools with board member Garrett. We had a great morning. We kicked it off at Spring Lake Elementary School, where we celebrated with Office Depot, which did a Start Proud program, and Spring Lake Elementary was elected to be the recipient of over $20,000 in school supplies, backpacks for kids. So it was a great kickoff to the morning. Visits were great. We also were very fortunate in one of our schools. We visited VPK because I work with VPK students, and this year in Seminole County we have 788 students enrolled in the district VPK program, and that was as of this afternoon. So we're very excited about that, but we got a chance to sit with them in their circle time. We sung the alphabet song. They were already building community, and it was like they'd been there for weeks. So we had a great time. We passed the alphabet song. We did a great job, and it was a great visit, and we're looking forward to a great year.
Good evening. I started the first day of school at Millennium Middle School, joining our new principal, Crystal Higgs, and welcoming her team back on campus. Later, I joined Superintendent Beeman, Chairman Kraus, Catherine Cernkovich, and Donovan Duchesne on the first day of school visits. We visited 4 middle schools, Teague, Milwee, Rock Lake, and Sanford. We made sure that we visited new teachers to the education field and those who are new to Seminole County, and also some who are new to middle school. And I wanted to give a special shout out and recognition to one of the veteran teachers that we met at, who's new to Teague Middle School, Ann Martin, who has 43 years of service to Seminole County. So we are so excited to have her now in our middle school team.
All right, good evening. On the first day, I got to start our day with you guys at the bell ringing over at Crooms Academy, and that led us into the classrooms of our new AI teacher, and it's getting to meet him and learn a little bit about what's going on at Crooms Academy. Got to visit with Captain Fortenberry and Chad Wilski and all of our high school campuses throughout the day. And really the themes that I saw throughout the day are just beautiful campuses, lots of updates, lots of new paint on the walls and murals and different things happening at each of the campuses. And it was pretty cool as a theme with the murals. I saw one at Crooms and then one at Lake Mary, where daughters of employees were the ones that painted some of the murals on the campus. So it was really cool to see that family component coming into our schools and the pride of the campus as well. Continuing through the day, we got to go to a couple other high schools and see some new teachers and new employees. Assistant principal from Seattle, Washington, over at Lake Howell High School, and I got to meet her for the first time, which was a joy. And overall, when we got to Lake Mary High School, very proud of Red Apple Dining and the look of the new restaurant with the many options for our students that just really brighten the room up. The renovation with the 3 different options for students plus the coffee bar was a great place. So very exciting to see all the new things happening on our campuses and high schools.
So cool. We had a great start in student support services. I got to start my morning at our special centers and alt sites, where they were setting very high expectations for both behavior and academics. Got a lot of hugs, got a few sighs when we went over dress code expectations. But overall, off to a great start and everything running smoothly there. My team was out in ESE classrooms, visiting with our teachers and staff to assess needs. As always, we had some new student enrollments that took us by surprise with some very complex needs, and I want to commend the schools for their very clear communication, quick response, and for our team in jumping right in to make sure all of those students had everything they needed to have that access to school immediately. I also would like to give a shout out. There were multiple departments that came together to provide additional support at 28 of our schools to start the school year with bilingual support, medical support, social work support, so those schools' office would be clear and we could provide a warm welcome to all of our families on campus at those high-needs schools.
Thank you.
Good evening. So I went lots of places on the first day, but I will update on some of the programs that I had the opportunity to work with. So Seminole County Virtual School had no late buses, no tardies, and no cell phone violations. Thank you, Chad. So at this point, an enrollment. So before I say this, an enrollment is one course period. As of this morning, we have 12,622 enrollments at Seminole County Virtual School, which is roughly, when kind of calculated out, makes them roughly the size of Winter Springs or Lyman High School for the number of students. I also had the opportunity to go to Sci High on the first day. We have new leadership there, lots of new staff. They had the students participate in a disorientation, kind of helping them understand that they're going to be engaged in a different type of learning, and that they even worked with the students on how they were going to implement cell phone practices in the classroom, and so that the kids had voice and all of that. I do want to shout out to all of our new middle school LEAP teachers. So we have our new Learning Pathways course that took the place of the iJourney course, and those teachers really dug in, and they are excited, and we appreciate them. And then finally, we have 160 plus new enrollments in artificial intelligence at Haggerty and Crooms, and we are appreciative of those teachers and those students for going on this journey with us. So thank you.
Good evening, Chair Kraus, board members, Superintendent Beeman, and I just want to echo what Mr. Rice said. On the first day, I had an opportunity to visit schools and just the many new teachers. It was great to welcome so many new teachers. And even today, I'm going to throw in, was at a middle school, and I think 4 or 5 new teachers we were introduced to. And what was even cooler is one of the teachers was a retired teacher and came back. So it was just a great experience. So first day, transportation, one of the best starts of transportation I've seen in a very, very long time. Mr. McKenzie, our Director of Transportation, team did a great job in preparation, getting routes, bus stop information out there. And we have almost 2,700 bus stops throughout the district currently. You don't realize 2,700 bus stops. And you know, on the first day too, for our little ones, you know, the key is that they've had a long day, an engaged day, they get tired, they like to fall asleep on the bus, and they forget to get off the bus. So we didn't have any of those really. And then the little ones like to get talking with their friends and they forget their bus stop. So really, our schools did a great job making sure kids got on the right bus and that we had a good first day in transportation. Radical dining, again, an excellent day serving our students and serving our teams. We served over 36,000 meals the first day, and today we're up over 42,000 meals as well. Our maintenance team, again, an awesome job. You know, just crazy weather. I've never seen so many 100 days of heat warnings, excessive heat that we've had straight. So they've done a marvelous jobs in responding to the challenges that come up. And I tell you, many of our team have been working until 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then the next day early, right back at it, getting those things addressed. So just appreciate all of our campuses, the work they've done, the support, as mentioned, from our facilities planning, our support team, the care that has gone out to address the needs and to make sure our students have what they need to succeed. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
And board members, as you all know, we had a little bit of a change during the beginning of the school year. Right before the school year, we opted to go to the AP Psych seminar route for our AP Psychology courses, as there were things that were unclear, and we wanted to make sure that our students and our teachers move forward in the best way possible at that time. On the night of, right before school opened, we got a letter from Commissioner Diaz that cleared up some things. And so got through our first day, and then we have met with all of our teachers, we've met with our principals and our team, and want you to know that today the communication went out to all of the families to offer them the opportunity to switch back to AP Psychology if they would like to. And so that is happening. Thank you to College Board. We will not lose instructional time. They will allow us, for all students that do take that test at the end of the year, to take it on an alternative date. So instead of May 9th, we're looking at May 22nd. So that communication has gone out to families today. We would expect that we would be able to have all of our families have an opportunity to talk with their students and get switched back if they would like to, or take other opportunities if they would not. And we'll get moving forward on teaching AP Psychology here in Seminole County.
Thank you.
Superintendent, could you just follow up with us when all the dust settles with that on how many settled into which classes?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And please thank everybody for their flexibility.
Absolutely.
I can't thank not only are AP psychology teachers enough, they have been very willing to adapt and to pivot based on the needs of our students, but also our team here and our principals and administrative teams on the ground. So we're very fortunate here in Seminole County.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we move forward with individual board comments, I would just like to ask item 6K, is there anyone that would want to serve on that RFP? It's for embroidery services.
So I'm serving on a committee right now that's going to take me all the way until October, November, so I'm already committed to architectural committee, so I'm sorry I can't.
Any other?
I did not have a chance to talk about the specifics with Greg Long, but provided that I can make it with my calendar, I would be happy to serve.
Thank you very much, Member Garrick.
You're welcome.
Okay, it's now time for board items for discussion. The roll call order again is Member Davis, Member Garrick, Vice Chair Sanchez, Member Pennick, and then myself. Member Davis, do you have any non-committee reports or comments?
So non-committee.
Non-committee comments.
I also went to the elementary schools on the first day of school with Dr. Cody, who's over here, our interim deputy superintendent. We went to Keith Elementary School, Castleberry Elementary School, Winter Springs Elementary School, and Highlands Elementary School. One had a new principal, brand new. One had one that just started the middle of last year. The schools were immaculate. I don't know who they have over there. One school we did meet in Winter Springs Elementary School, the most fantastic maintenance service. The floors were 20 years old and they looked brand new. So I was very proud of their hard work to make it a great learning environment for our kids. I also want to commend the principals who remained calm the entire time. We took an hour out of their first day of school. They did not stumble at all, very in control, and there was nobody in the office, no parents in the office, no problems. We went to several classrooms. I have 5 or 6 classrooms, and I'm telling you, those kids, I thought that they were in class for 9 months already. They were so well behaved and following all of the rules. It was unbelievable. I know that many parents say, my kid is not like that. He runs around and he doesn't listen. And I'm telling you something about the group, especially the kindergartners in first grade, when they get together, they just fall in line with the group and they want to see what's happening, what's going to happen. And they were just unbelievable. This is the favorite part of the job, is to go to visit these kids in the classroom. I was fortunate enough at Highlands Elementary School to go into my granddaughter's class, and she was out of this world surprised, sitting with 4 boys around her. She hated boys last year, but this year I guess she could be friends. Last year they were bullies and they were mean, but this year they're her friends, so that's an improvement. But it was just wonderful, and I'm telling you, I thank all of the parents who got them ready and psyched up for the first day of school, because they were excited, and that comes from home. They came in ready to learn, ready to listen, ready to be part of a class, and that comes. They brought that with them from home, and we hope that we keep it that way, and we can all be respectful to one another. But they were sharing and helping, and it was amazing. One class I promised to bring a Venus flytrap plant, and so now that's on order. That'll be here in a couple of days with the food and the book. But, I get myself in these situations, but they should love it, and I'm glad to do it. But thank you all for participating in our meeting today. I know that you probably are very involved in our school system, and we appreciate it, and we really like your comments. Whether they're positive or negative, we take all of that information in. Do not think that because we don't respond that we're not listening. We are listening. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Member Garrick.
I just want to say thank you to the staff for once again answering all of my questions and doing their in allowing me to feel confident in my decisions this evening. I did want to point out that we have a number of new hires in our district, and I am very excited in visiting our schools with Dr. Cummings. It was great to see so many new faces to education and new faces to our district, and I look forward to supporting them in any way I can. And I know that our admins and teachers will support one another as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chair Sanchez.
First of all, commendable first few days of school, just like everybody has said. It was seamless, and it comes from the top down. So everybody working together, our families, everybody in this building, to our teachers, paras, bus drivers, transportation, you name it, facilities, waving off our buses at 5:30 in the morning, and our facility crews to make sure all ACs were up and running and that our buses were out picking up our students and delivering them safely home. It was just, out of my 8 years of serving on the board, I would say this was by far one of the best. So thank you to everyone that made this happen, because it really does take a village to get this to happen. And it was so positive. A couple non-committee reports, League of Women Voters, I serve on the Education Committee, and we had our meeting yesterday. That went really well. I know that we're just talking about some different things that are going on and some ways that we can work together with legislative session starting earlier than it has in the past. Remember, it's an election year, so when there's an election year, the process starts earlier. Also, the dividend coffees, I posted it on my social media, but they're also posted on our Seminole County Community Dividend page. All the PTA coffees, they're all listed there. They've already started, and if you can become a volunteer and help in any way possible, we would greatly appreciate it. We had an opportunity to ring that bell at Crooms, head to the back to school drive from Office Depot and back to school drive with wonderful students and families who donated so many backpacks, to Winter Springs doing an event where they collected a ton of backpacks and, for their students in their area. And in my neighborhood, we did the same thing. Like I said, everybody working together has made such a huge difference, and it really takes us all to do this. And so this is an effort that all of us are doing together, no matter if things are going exactly the way we want or not. We all just plug along, and our students are so engaged and so happy. Also, the other thing I want to just mention is that we had Forest City and Lake Brantley had a guest motivational speaker that we were invited to, and his name is Dave Weber, and he wrote a book called Sticks and Stones Exposed. I highly recommend it. And the other one is on leadership, and he was one of the best motivational speakers I've ever encountered. So he covers a wide range of everything. So he really had our teachers pumped up, and he was awesome. So thank you. That's my non-committee report.
Thank you. Member Pennick.
I had a blast, Paul, walking the halls with you. I appreciated our tours, and the biggest takeaway that I took was every single one of our teachers said, last year was awful, but this year feels different. It feels good, and I look forward to that carrying throughout the entire year. So let's go.
Thank you much. And I too, I'm starting with the superintendent. I thank you for your leadership. I thank our teams. This doesn't happen by accident, and it does take each and every one of us. So the feedback that I'm hearing is these were the smoothest days that we've ever experienced opening schools. So thank you all. I know it was very long, late hours, but I do appreciate you. Okay, it's moving on up to, I need to, we've got the committee going. Okay, so it's now time for public comments, agenda items. Vice Chair, will you read the instructions?
Policy 0169.1, public participation at board meetings. The purpose of public participation segments of a board meeting is to allow the public to address matters within the board's jurisdiction and not to resolve individual grievances or disputes. Public comments related to education, the board agenda, and the district are welcome and encouraged, but public comment segments are not forums to engage in personal attacks against school system employees or board members. To maintain orderly conduct, the public comment segments of the meetings may not be used as open forums to discuss matters unrelated to education, to support or oppose candidates that are running for office, including presentation of political and/or campaign issues, announcing candidacy and/or campaigning, or to engage in commercial speech attempting to sell a service or product to the board or the public. Nor are they forums to address matters involving disciplinary actions of any kind, pending claims, complaints, or litigation against the district or district personnel. Public comment segments durations are as follows. Agenda items limited to 3 minutes, one group representative speaking on a proposition, maximum of 6 minutes. Speaker must remain on topic for agenda item. Non-agenda items limited to 2 minutes. Speakers shall direct all their comments only to the board members and not address the audience or other speakers. No speakers may yield his or her time to any other person. Generally, substitutions of speakers will not be allowed. Thank you.
Thank you. And I have 3 requests to speak on agenda items: Nina Sandberg, Robin Dellinger, and Judy Ning. Good evening.
I'm Nina Sandberg. The field trip goal this year needs to be to provide one decent academic field trip opportunity for every student at the regular SCPS schools. Thousands of students have had no field trip for 3 or more years now. We have 1 board member serving on the zoo board, but very few students are offered a field trip to the zoo. We have another board member serving on the Science Center board. My own children were never offered a field trip to the Science Center ever. Kennedy Space Center is much closer than St. Augustine, but is continually overlooked. That's a good one for the older children. However, the reality is that for 3 years, many students have been offered no field trips at all. Please excuse me when I say this, but the SCPS Environmental Center is not exciting at all. A concerted effort needs to be made to make prom more affordable because 61% of all Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. The juniors at all SCPS high schools need to be offered prom also. If all the seniors and juniors cannot fit into one single prom, then do the old-fashioned thing and have separate junior and senior proms. Please make sure that no students are denied entry to their proms this year. There was no excuse for the Lake Brantley prom nightmare last year. That situation could have been fixed in 15 minutes by a superintendent who cared. As a former assistant banquet manager, I know how easy it would have been to accommodate those kids and collect the money from their parents afterwards. All a superintendent had to do was get on the phone with the banquet director, give them a corporate credit card number, and order emergency food and drink for those kids. Some parents were with their kids. Why didn't anyone just ask them for a credit card? It is very easy to accommodate a few extra people at any reputable large banquet facility. The kids in grades K through 8 should have a field day on campus every spring. The PE teachers are in charge of that. Please make sure that that happens for all of the elementary and middle school students. Please plan these things now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Robin Dellinger, followed by Judy Ning.
Oh, did you turn it on?
Good evening, board members and Ms. Beeman.
Good evening.
My name is Robin Dellinger. I live in Longwood. I'm a parent of 3 Seminole County graduates and a grandparent of a kindergartner and a senior. I retired last year after 34 years with the district. I'm concerned that sometimes incorrect information is shared during public comment, specifically related to field trips, which I heard at the last board meeting that I watched online. So I would just want to make a couple of comments, and based on my knowledge of working with the district for many years. Regarding field trips, there isn't a statute, rule, or policy that requires schools to provide field trips or field day for all students. While students at all levels may participate in various field trip opportunities, field day and other activities, none of them are required. They all happen because teachers and principals and program coordinators and athletic directors and coaches work really hard to make them happen. In elementary school, students generally experience 1 or 2 field trips every year. In middle and high school, field trips are more often related to co-curricular, extracurricular, and sports activities, and there are more of them than you can count. The only field trips that appear on the school board agenda are out-of-state field trips, which the school board has to approve. Ticket and transportation costs can present significant barriers for students, and it is the practice of teachers and principals to make sure that every student that wishes to participate in a field trip is able to do so regardless of their ability to pay. And I can speak to personal experience for that. Parents and community members can support schools in these efforts with their time as chaperones and in fundraising efforts. The wonderful truth is that Seminole County is very fortunate to have incredible parent and community support in our schools, and our students have many opportunities of these kinds of activities. I supervised elementary schools for the last 7 years that I worked for the district, and in that time, I was aware of many, many kids going to the environmental center, and I never had a single teacher, parent, or student complain that they didn't have a great time at the environmental center. In fact, this field trip is a highlight for elementary students. It has been for many years, and I hope it will continue to be for many more years. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hi, Judy.
Good evening, Superintendent Beeman, Madam Chair, and school board members. My name is Judy Ying, and I am a teacher at Lake Howell High School. I have been on the district's insurance committee since 2015, and I am one of 6 union members on this committee. We are all dedicated to helping every employee afford good health care coverage. In 2013 or 2014, I'm not sure, the district made a good decision to become self-insured. But up until today, things have been stagnant. The Educators Union hired a health insurance consultant to help us propose changes. This includes Seminole Education Association, SECA, NIPSCO, and SCBDA. These changes should not be uncomfortable for our members. They can keep the status quo, or they can elect the new HRA. This is very exciting because now, with low premium, high deductible plan, they can go to their primary doctor, their health med doctor, for only $10, and specialists are $25. The network is large also. Along with this, we recommended the Blue Book program, which will monetarily reward our employees for choosing health care options that not only save the district money, but are considered the highest quality care. Most people know that a less qualified provider will cost a lot more in the long run. So get it right the first time. It's a win-win situation. So I urge you to vote yes on this proposal, and I look forward to more exciting changes next year. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes the public comments agenda items. Superintendent, do we need to address any clarifying questions? No? Oh. Okay, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Yes, if I might, I would recommend that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
All right, yes, of course.
Motion.
Thank you. Member Panic, is there a second? Second, Member Davis. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. Motion passes. We didn't have any discipline hearings, unfinished business. Okay, Superintendent, do you have a report?
Yes, my report, for the most part, is included in the book and is read-only. I would like for Ms. Bonts to step to the podium and provide you all just a recall of the insurance committee's opportunities to provide the recommendations that then came to you all as part of the item tonight. So, yes, you. Ms. Bonds, if you would please give kind of a recap of the insurance committee's work and
absolutely.
the way that it came to our board and was part of the recommendation that was included in the agenda items tonight.
Absolutely, I'd be happy to do so. Good evening, Chairman
Good
and
evening.
board members and Superintendent Beeman. So I'm just very excited about the work the Insurance Committee has done this past year. We have 9 voting members on the committee. 6 are union members, 3 from the SEA, 1 from NIPSCO, 1 from SECA, and 1 from BUS, as well as 3 voting administrators. And sorry, I always get a little winded on the first couple of minutes. So at any rate, so they worked all year, and it was an especially hard year this year because we went to an RFP for both our TPA, which is our third-party administrator, and for our pharmacy benefits manager, PBM. And so Cigna was picked to keep our TPA for medical, and for PBM, we switched over to Magellan. So that added a whole nother layer because the committee had to make new plan design changes, network changes, and so it was a lot of work for the committee. So going back a little bit, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm breathing so hard. Forgive me again.
That's okay.
I think it's because I was distracted when you called me up, so I apologize. So at any rate, so the committee is tasked to make recommendations to the superintendent and the board, and they're tasked with a very difficult decision because the folks on the committee want the best coverage for our employees. They want to have healthy employees. They want them to have care that is reasonably cost that they can afford, not only for payroll deductions, but when they go to the doctor. But they also know that they have a fiscal responsibility because we're dealing with the taxpayer dollars. We're dealing with the fact that the board and the superintendent are so supportive in the health and well-being of our employees. So there's a lot of decisions that they make throughout the year. So the recommendations they made for this year were to change the new board paid plan to a smaller network. It's called the SureFit plan. It saves the district money, it saves the employee money. But what they really did is improve the benefits on our other 3 plans. So the board paid plan that used to be there is now a new plan that's $5. It's on the same network, but they can have first dollar coverage for the very first time. So our employees can go to MD Live for $10. They can go to our wellness center for free for acute care. They can go to Tier 1 PCP visits for $10, and they can go to Tier 1 specialists for $25, as well as get substance abuse, outpatient substance abuse and mental health for $10. So these are coverages we've never had that they could get for first dollar coverage before hitting their deductible. So we're super excited. I commend the union, I commend our administrators and the board for the work that they have done to bring this to you because it's a really great package for our employees and I'm super proud. Do you have any questions? And again, sorry,
We just so appreciate your work and collaboration, including all the stakeholders in making recommendations to
Thank you. And I'd like to really commend Highland, Andrea, her, and Felicia Slattery especially for their work, as well as Cigna, because it's really been, there's really hard discussions all year long. They're super hard, and that's why I commend the group so much, because we have hard conversations and we don't always get exactly what everybody wants to get, but we're working every year to make things better for our employees and really to improve their health. And that's the ultimate goal that everybody on that committee has, is to improve the health and well-being of all of our employees.
Well, and while Ms. Bonts is here, I also wanted to say congratulations to Amy Smith and Don Bonts and Highland, our representatives, and Mr. Russey. The entire team, we, as you may know, second place in the division of 5,000 employees for the 2023 Healthiest Employers of Central Florida Award.
Bravo.
So thank you. So I just thought I'd throw that in there while you were
I
saying it.
appreciate that. That's a testament to Amy and her team for sure, and Highland as well. And while I have the stage, we are super excited. And again, it came from a board member because, again, you guys all support us so very much. We're so very excited about our Mental Health Matters event that's coming up in September, where our employees can all get together and get the tools that they need, not only for their own mental health, but to help family members and students and other staff, and just have a day to de-stress. So we appreciate that support.
Thank you much.
And to wrap up my report, outside of the read-only opportunities, I did want to just give a shout out to a couple of folks. One who is out there at the 9th grade center, Dr. Washington, who became a doctor over the summer. And also Dr. Christine Kirkwright, who defended and became a doctor this week. So,
Very good.
and that concludes my report, board members.
Thank you so much. Good stuff. Okay, now it's time for board committee updates. We'll start with Member Davis. Did your committees meet over the summer?
Not really. They're preparing it's the Seminole County Student Health Services Committee. It's a partnership with the Department of Health. They are the ones that will provide all of the screenings. Just remember that if you want your child to opt out of the screening, you have to opt out. Otherwise, they're looking for a hearing test, eye test, scoliosis test. It's not like a complete physical or anything, but they're going to roll that out. They also have a program for free, any students in any school, actually, whether it's public or private, here in Seminole County. They have dentist appointments where they'll do the cleaning, they'll put sealants in. They won't do cavities or anything, but they'll refer you out, but they'll clean them and put the sealants on it, which will protect the teeth much longer. So they're ready to roll out all that stuff for our schools. And then the Seminole County Children's Cabinet, they are the group that collects resources and agencies that will help children. So they handle mental health issues, they handle special needs, they handle any sort of issue with homeless students. So they have a lot of resources there if you need help. And a lot of the agencies are on the committee, and they come and discuss how they can help the children of Seminole County. So just remember that there are places out there for help, no matter what it is. It could be housing, it could be mental health, it could be connecting to a shelter, a women's shelter. They have it all. So, and if your child has some issues with learning, they have groups that are part of the committee that may have some answers, at least to get you thinking in the right way. So I would utilize that anytime you need somebody to talk to and refer you to some place that can help. So I'm looking forward to that this year. We all want to get well. We want to stabilize so we can have a great education. And these agencies will help do that to make sure that you're ready.
Thank you. Member Garrick, committee reports?
My committees did not meet over the summer, but I did have the opportunity, I know as many of us have, to attend community events, help support our kids, help support our teachers with backpacks and school supplies, and making sure that everyone's ready for the first day of school. We had a fabulous kickoff to the 23-24 school year. Thanks to all of the folks we have mentioned before. I don't know that we have given the special shout out that is due to our parents. We want to say a huge thank you to you, parents, for entrusting us with the education of your students. There's also been some concerns that have come to me that have been weighing heavily on me. And it's regarding some of our Florida state standards and education legislation. I do not like standards and legislation that make the district's goals of equity and excellence more difficult. But as an elected official, I will always work to within the law to further the goals of our SCPS system for every single student. I will continue to have direct conversations with our lawmakers and stakeholders, and I've got my cell phone on me all the time. If there is an issue that you have that you need help navigating, I'm happy to be a resource and help you find the person that can help you resolve your issue. Many of you know that I'm a storyteller, and I often find comfort and inspiration through the words of children's literature, and I'm going to read one of my very favorites from Shel Silverstein. It's The Voice. There is a voice inside of you that whispers all day long, I feel that this is right for me. I know that this is wrong. No teacher, preacher, parent, friend, or wise man can decide what's right for you. Just listen to the voice that speaks inside. So thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chair Sanchez.
So Allie's Hope, my mental health board, we have our Glass Full of Hope, our first event for the season, which is going to be November 9th. More information will come. Of course, they are partnering with us in our schools, and each school and the high schools are doing something a little differently to help our students with mental health services besides the services that we already provide. The Zoo Board, the Central Florida Zoo Board, we meet tomorrow, so I won't have an update until next meeting after that. But our financials are looking good there. Our train is running. Yes, it's been hot, so I'm not sure what our numbers look like this past month, but I do know that all of our camps this summer were full and we had a waiting list, so that's a great sign. We do take our students to the zoo as well as many of the other places that I know that they said that we're not doing certain events or field trips. The Coalition School Board, the Central Florida School Board Coalition, which I chair, the 14 districts, our next meeting is September 11th, so I'll send a reminder out again. I think our next meeting is what, September 9th? Wait, I can't remember when our next meeting is. August? Yes, 9/5, September 5th, sorry. So I'll send more information, but it is public. So it is via Zoom, so I can have all the districts there. It will be on human trafficking. So if anybody would like to be on that Zoom call, I will send out another reminder, and then I will let you know where you can find the link as well. So that will be coming up September 11th. And then, of course, it's just my regular meeting with everybody to discuss some of the things that they're doing throughout their areas. And just on behalf of being a classroom teacher, I have taken more field trips than I can even count. Each year, we went to the Cape Canaveral. I went on anybody that didn't want to go on the mud walk as a chaperone, I was in the mud. So the mud walk has always been my favorite. Environmental center for our first graders. Literally our physics buses, which are basically mobile labs, they're a field trip, and St. Augustine, Washington, that's out of county. I can name so many field trips that we have taken throughout, and every school's different, so I get that, but it's each school and departments and what committee you may be on, or not committee, what activity you're in, or what class you're taking in school. So they're all based on so many different things like that. And that's it for my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Panic.
My committees have not met. The audit committee meets next Friday, and I will forward you the minutes of that meeting when it's done.
Thank you very much. I serve on the SCPS Foundation Board, and we've had our, the Night of Impact is our main fundraiser, and we've had, I also am part of that committee, so we met this past week. I also serve on the Steinway Society, and proud to announce that they will be donating a piano lab to the Midway Safe Harbor as one of their sites, and we're looking for another school. If there's an elementary school, Title I, they have labs that they will provide free of charge. They pay their teachers $30 to teach. So just keep your ears and eyes open if you would. The superintendent and some of the board members and I were also part of the Tools for Schools drop-off. The Central Florida Indian community was so gracious to provide us with tons of donations, and their students loaded stuff and delivered stuff right to the school store. So we're very appreciative for that partnership that we're fostering, and they want to help our community too. We have a lot of families in need. So, and I think that concludes my committee. Oh, mayors and managers. Mayors and managers today luncheon. It's all about the water. Our water is essentially safe. There's a big meeting tonight that they're discussing. There was an inside report from the Orlando Sentinel, and I'll look forward to following along closely with that. Okay, so that concludes the board committee updates. It is now time for public comments, non-agenda items. Our first three speakers, if you'll line up near the podium, please. Robin Dellinger, Haley Donahue, and Fiona Shannon.
Figured since I was here, I might as well speak twice. Good evening again, board members. My name's Robin Dellinger, and I live in Longwood, Florida. I would like to speak briefly about return on investment for iReady and Khan Academy, which are instructional resources the district provides to support student learning. At the last board meeting, Ms. Thompson of the Assessment and Accountability Department provided a review of the data that clearly outlined the return on investment achieved by the district, but I would like to point out a few metrics. SCPS is an A-rated district and is as recognized by the Florida Department of Education, and has been every year since that measure was implemented, with the exception of 1 year, so 20 plus years, I think. SCPS achieved higher performance levels than the state average in every single measure in 2023, including in ELA, math, science, algebra, geometry, biology, civics, and U.S. history. The SCPS grad rate in 2022 was 93%. The state grad rate was 87.3%. That 93% is #1 in Central Florida and #1 among the 14th largest districts. Our graduating seniors earned over $29 million in scholarships. And finally, if that's not enough, Niche rates SCPS an A district, one of only 10 out of 67 districts in the state of Florida. So I think it's evident that Seminole County Public Schools achieves a significant return on investments for its students and for the community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Haley Donahue, followed by Fiona Shannon.
Hi, I'm Haley Donahue. I am the Educational Advocacy Director for the Ruth Project. This summer has been a wild ride for curriculum guidelines in Florida. First, AP African American Studies was stolen away from students by the state legislature and governor. Now they moved on to AP Psychology, which was up in the air until this afternoon. This is a major problem for anyone invested in the rights of students. These are the same students that are having to have parents sign permission slips to be addressed by nicknames, to attend school events. They are being denied the usage of bathrooms that reflect their gender identities. As the Educational Advocacy Director, the issues happening in Seminole County and across the state go against portions of the state constitution. As of 2022, Article 9 of the state constitution, Section 1, System of Education, states that all K-12 public school students are entitled to a uniform, safe, secure, efficient, and high-quality system of education. A high-quality education provides students with rigorous material and a challenging curriculum. The denial of students from being able to take a course such as AP African American Studies, which is now being offered to students across the nation, except in places like Florida, means that the schooling students are receiving is no longer high quality. These classes are being denied because they celebrate, reaffirm, and acknowledge diverse identities. These classes are being denied because the state would rather uphold discriminatory ideology than to provide students with a way of fully actualizing promises made to them in the state constitution. Yet SCPS will not stand for this act of discrimination in regards to AP psychology. I thank you for that. Thank you for ensuring that the rights of members of the working class who might not be able to access education in other manners are able to receive this education. Thank you for upholding and uplifting students' rights by allowing them to take this course. Thank you for supporting all of your students. Continue this fight in your position when you face the other issues in Seminole County Public Schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Fiona Shannon. And after Fiona, Nina Sandberg.
Good evening, Superintendent Beeman and school board members. Once again, I thank you for the job you are doing for the students, teachers, and parents of Seminole County. Tonight, I thank you for your decision to offer AP Psychology in its entirety. This is a college-level class and should be taught that way and not watered down to appease a handful of parents. I have 2 Lyman High School graduates who have gone on to higher education. My daughter attended the University of Florida and then Texas Christian University for MBA. My son attended West Point, served 5 years in the Army, and is now set to attend Northwestern University for graduate school. My point is, they are prepared to attend schools in-state and out of state. AP Psychology was one of the best, and probably the best, taught classes offered to them in high school. To think that this opportunity was in jeopardy for students this year was devastating. Once again, I thank you for giving our Seminole County students the opportunities to challenge themselves, prepare themselves for college, and potentially receive college credit. Seminole County schools have always offered our kids the best education available. Why would we do anything to diminish that reputation? Other states are already questioning the direction Florida education is going in and whether those educated here will be worthy of accepting, recruiting, or hiring. Religious education belongs at church and in private religious schools. Academic education belongs in public schools. PragerU curriculums have no place in academic institutions. Separation of church and state is the law of the land. Let's remember that and respect all children, teachers, and families. Thank you.
Thank you. Nina Sandberg, followed by Raquel Molino, followed by Judy Ning.
I'm Nina Sandberg. A year ago, 3 to 5 board members wrongly voted to change non-agenda public comment time from 3 minutes to 2 minutes. Afterwards, 1 board member denied that the board did this, and 2 board members said they would try to undo this mistake before it would ever take effect. A year later, not 1 board member has asked for a revote to change non-agenda public comment time back to 3 minutes. Non-agenda public comment time is more important than agenda public comment time because it brings to light issues that you are not already working on, that you don't already know about. 260 words are not enough words for employees, parents, and students to explain any problem to you properly. You need to give the citizens back their 380 words. 380 words are not a lot of words, and this is the least you can do as public servants who are supposed to be serving the taxpayers. You do not own this school system. The taxpayer citizens own it. They are supposed to have 3 minutes and not 2 minutes. It was a supreme act of selfishness, arrogance, and corruption to change non-agenda public comment time from 3 minutes to 2 minutes. At least 3 of you need to come forward and do the right thing for the citizens and restore their 3 minutes. Which one of you will initiate taking a new vote to fix this? This problem needs to be fixed. People have been dealing with this now for about 10 months. They don't have enough words very often to explain their problems. You need to take care of this for the citizens. Thank you.
Thank you. Raquel Molino, followed by Judy.
Good evening. My name is Raquel, and I agree with everything she just said about the changing it to 3 minutes. My anxiety's kicking in, so I apologize, but it's worth coming here and supporting our kids. To all the staff members, students in Seminole County Public School, if you all feel like you need to say something that matters, please let's all speak up and fight for change. Admin can only silence you if you let them. We are all powerful, and our voice should matter now more than ever. Now I'm gonna make sure it's heard. Speak up when you see bullies. Speak up when you see retaliation. Speak up when you see your students are failing, but admin will ask to bump the kids' grade up so they can pass, like they did with my child. Speak up when you are instructed to do something that is not in the best interest of the students. Speak up if you are bullied into doing something that's not right, and that's happening a lot in Seminole County Public School. Unfortunately, many employees and students are afraid to speak up about the things that matter, but I am. I really don't care, because our kids matter. Our future generation matter. And I will continue exposing evil. Thank you.
Thank you. Judy?
Good evening again. My name is Judy Ying, teacher at Lake Howe High School. I'm deeply concerned for our teachers. The harmful legislation being implemented this year puts a tremendous hardship on all of us. We're not just afraid of losing our job, we're afraid of being fined or even arrested. With all of this, I would have expected veteran teachers to be treated as valued professionals. What that looks like is being allowed to teach the courses that we have spent our lives learning, improving, and being successful at. Instead, these courses are being given to younger, sometimes brand new teachers. We lost a teacher with a PhD in physics this year. His AP courses were taken away. That's why he left. Another 30-some-year veteran with outstanding AP scores and a slew of Silver Scholar Awards had his AP course taken away, given to someone younger. He quit. Another is an expert in anatomy and physiology, but instead of letting him teach that position is now being covered by a substitute. I know of 2 other valuable veterans that quit for this same reason. I, too, lost 2 of my sections to an uncertified new science teacher. A request for a change was denied. I thought parents wanted experts to teach their children. I asked a few people in charge, are veteran teachers being pushed out? And the answer was no, but this is the perception. And new teachers are not stupid. They see what is in store for them. I imagine most of them have their exit strategy. I've asked this board before, what is the plan to retain and recruit teachers? Because this is not going to do it. And this is not just about Seminole County. This is about the future of public education. And public education is fundamental to our democracy. Every country that has fallen into fascism first went after control of the media and education. Tallahassee has said out loud they want to privatize education. Do you want Seminole County to be the first? This attack on us is massive. We cannot ignore the solutions that we do have control over. It must start right here, right now, with us. Please do something. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes public comment. So with that, this meeting is adjourned.